All right, welcome to my channel. I am a high school teacher who has had taught for the last 20 years, and the last three has transitioned to being able to teach a shop class, which is traditionally a woodshop class. It's really well equipped, and it's been really a journey over the last year. So a little bit about my background. I come from a math and engineering background. I love designing. I love 3D printing, and I spent a bunch of time over the last couple of years really just working on the shop in terms of getting tools updated, organizing, figuring out workflows, and really just trying to figure out how does the shop as a whole function. And pretty quickly, though, it becomes this place where it is functional, but now it is the question of like, how are you going to teach in here? Because teaching in shop is very different than working in a shop. And so when it's done poorly, it can be chaotic, right? And dangerous. And it can also be boring, like trying to just move kids through a tool one at a time. So I looked at resources that I had. I had some books. I had books from really master craftsmen, but they weren't really set up for like the modern wood shop. I did some Googling, I looked online, I tried to find things that were out there, and in the end, we really developed kind of my own curriculum. Some of it worked well, some of it didn't work as well. And in the end, I built this site hopefully as a place where teachers and also DIY enthusiasts can get some resources for a reasonable price, but that also they can modify. So I came up with a couple of textbooks. First one is centered around measurement and design, really at the starting point of like if you can't measure things accurately and if you can't have an idea of what design looks like, then it's really hard to move forward. So you'll see on the site some previews of the book, so you kind of get what you get a preview of what you're getting. I then have the second is just planning and fabrication. This really gets into like how do you design something, but also like what are the tools there and what are the fabrication processes that you would see in a standard workshop. And again, all of these are editable and configurable, and you can adjust them as you need as a teacher. And then the last one is kind of the big one. This is where people start, is this idea of shop safety. So this is intended as a supplement to your own safety trainings. Safety has to be first and foremost, but it's also a priority for you to individualize and make sure that your shop is safe for your students and your practices are safe. But this is a resource that has safety quizzes, it has some overview, hopefully is something from what I've picked up in the last couple of years, but also leaning on the previous shop teachers at my site. So what you'll see is also a project set. So the project set is 6 introductory projects that take kids through basic hand tool use. You can modify these as needed, and in the end, they're really building these tools. They build a framing square, a little speed square, a center finder. They then build a mallet, and finally they build a toolbox. So this could easily take a semester to go through all of those and do the tool training. I also have some what I call competency labs where they're really just looking at specifics. This is a hole and fastener one. This is a joinery one. It's not necessarily a project that they're building, but it's really just showing skills. So do they have the skills to draft? Do they have the skills for a panel glue up? Really those kind of fundamental pieces that you want to teach those students. And so I know that in terms of pricing, that's always tricky for education. Anytime you try to get anything passed through, it's how much does it cost? I've left this up to you. I really want resources to be used, and I want people to have the opportunity to use the things that I've developed over the last couple of years, modify them, make them better, share them as well. So it's pay what you can. There's a suggested price, but you make an offer. If they're helpful to you, that's great. That's really the intent of this site. All right, thanks for watching.